why you should ghost her every now and then. Right? Why you need to ghost her in order to create attraction with her. Okay, in the pickup community, we call this intermittent attention. Giving the girl intermittent attention. We also call these push-pulls, takeaways, right? These are super powerful when it comes to attracting a girl, making her chase you, making her want you 10 times more. Is these little takeaways, these little push-pulls. Problem with most guys is most guys just push, 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 right? Trying to get the girl to respond to him, to go out with him, to see him. Most guys just push, 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 and they never give the girl room to chase. Whereas when you ghost the girl, you are giving her room to chase. You're giving her space, right? You're giving her the gift of a chase, right? You're giving her enough space to miss you, okay? The girl has to miss you a little bit. The girl has to wonder about you, okay? Because the game is played not in your head, but the girl's head. The game really is played in the girl's mind, right? The game is played by occupying her thoughts. The more you are occupying a female's thoughts, the more she is going to become emotionally invested in you, the more she's going to become attracted to you, and the more she's going to chase you, want you. The more she's going to be blowing up your phone, showing up at your door. Okay, and the way that you accomplish that is by not making yourself so available. The problem with most of you guys is you are just too available. These girls could send you a message at 3 in the morning. You'll be sleeping in bed and you'll see the text like, oh my God, hey girl, did you just call me? Hey, did you want to do something? I'll wake up. I'll go pick you up. Yeah, where do you want to go? I don't know what's open. Denny's, you want to go to Denny's? You know, it's like you're at these chicks' beck and call, right? And when you are at their beck and call, you're basically communicating to her that you really have no life of your own. You know, you have nothing else better to do. You have nothing else more exciting going on than to wait around for her phone calls, to wait around to be at her beck and call, right? Whereas somebody who is more experienced with females and more experienced with getting girls to chase him versus him chasing her knows the power of ghosting her, right? And it doesn't mean that you just disappear forever. It just means, again, you're going to be giving her what we call intermittent attention. Sometimes you're going to be available. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're going to text her. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're going to respond to her. Sometimes you're not. Right? You're giving her that intermittent attention because when you give her that intermittent attention, right, aka ghosting her from time to time, every now and then, you're ghosting her, right? You're just not available. What you're communicating to the girl is that you have better things to do, that you have a life, that, hey, maybe you met a hotter girl. Maybe you're seeing somebody else, right? Maybe you're not as attracted to her as she thought you were. She's going to start wondering all these things in her head. You're going to become a mystery to her. And by default, you're going to start occupying her thoughts. She's going to start thinking about you. So like, wow, you know, this guy Scott, he used to text me all the time. Now he's not texting me anymore. Did I say something to piss him off? Is he mad at me? He's not responding to me. Right? She will wonder about you. Right? She will wonder about you. You know, you'll start to create a little bit of tension there. She might even get a little upset. She's like, who does Scott think he is? Scott's like 5'7", 5'6". Weighs 105 soaking wet. Who does Scott think he is? I'm a hot chick. Screw Scott, right? She'll start getting upset about you. And by default, again, she will start emotionally investing in you because she'll be wondering, like, what is going on with Scott? He always used to respond to me whenever I needed to use him as like a tampon, you know, a shoulder to cry on. An emotional tampon. He was always there. Where is he now? He doesn't have time for me. Did he meet somebody? I tried texting him. It's been a week. He hasn't responded. That's the power of ghosting these chicks from time to time. And the thing is, this is the big caveat to doing this correctly. You don't want to do this as a technique. You don't want to be like, okay, I'm going to ghost this girl for the next 5 days. and then I'm gonna message her. Then I'm gonna ghost her for another 3 days, and then you're like marking off your calendar, like, okay, I got this perfectly down. I've got the calculation down. No, you can't do it like that because techniques don't work. Okay, it won't work as a technique. You should never do anything as a technique. You should just do it because that's who you are. And this is why it pays to have a path and purpose, right? To have goals in your life. No matter what woman it is, even if she's your wife, she will never be your path and purpose. She will never have like such a starring role in your movie that she takes over your movie, she takes over your world. Instead, she'll just kind of be like a bit player, and you won't have to do things as a technique because you will genuinely be busy doing other things with your life and meeting other people, right? Because she is not playing such a huge role in your movie, right? Maybe she did in the past. Maybe in the first movie she was like, co-starring with you in that movie. Maybe even stealing the movie from you. But you know what? Now here comes the sequel. The sequel to Scott's movie. And now Scott's the main player, and this chick is just kind of like doing a cameo role in your movie, right? She doesn't deserve that spot because she didn't treat you right in the first movie. Maybe she pulled a Megan Fox. Her ego got a little too big for her bridges. So now she's just doing a little cameo, right? If she even gets that much. But the point is, you want to ghost these girls from time to time, and you don't want to do it as a technique. You want to do it as a natural expression of who you are. For example, like the girls in my life, they don't see me every day. They don't hear from me every day. They see and hear from me when I have time. Okay? When I'm available. Especially these days, my time's pretty limited. I'm busy running my business. I'm busy traveling. I just don't have time. I don't have time like back in my old Blue Pill days to be running off to dinner and, going to like BJ's and friggin' Fridays and Cheesecake Factory every weekend and going to movies, and I don't have time for that anymore. It's like I see you when I see you, and sometimes the only time I have is during the day. I'm like, I can see you for an hour, and I see you for a couple hours. I'll just come over. I don't have time for going to a restaurant tonight. Why don't we just go grab something quick at like Chipotle, however you say it, right? Why don't we just go there real quick? Something fast. I don't have time to sit with you for hours and hours. They're seeing enough of me to not leave, but not so much of me where they're like tired of me, if that makes sense. Where back in my old Blue Pill days, I just want to spend all my time with my girl. And if you're still Blue Pill and you're in this situation, you might be in the same boat. You want to spend all your time with your girl, and you notice that, her attraction for you starts to dwindle because, as they say, familiarity breeds contempt, right? Familiarity breeds contempt. So you think about all these girlfriends that you've had where you spent like all your time with them, all your free time, like devoted yourself to them. Those girls became the most resentful towards you, the most hostile, the most angry, the most nitpicking towards you, to the point where they, were purposely trying to pick fights with you or try to piss you off or annoy you or disrespect you because, again, familiarity breeds contempt. So it's better, like, the less you see the girl, the better she will treat you. Again, you can't do this as a technique. If you try to do it as a technique, it's not going to feel good because you're going to be sitting at home like shaking, twiddling your thumbs until the next time you see her, because she's still the star of your movie, because you have no path and purpose of your own other than her. She can't be your path and purpose. You have to have your own goals, ambitions, your own social circle, your own friends. That is outside of her. Okay, that is outside of her. When you have that, you will just ghost her naturally. You will just disappear from time to time. And when she hits you up and she messages you, sometimes you'll be available to respond and sometimes you won't. For example, I have messages from last week I still have not returned, right? Even from last week. There are other times where I'm just like laying in bed, right? I'm just laying in my bed over there. I'm traveling right now. I'm in my hotel room, but I'll be laying in my bed in my hotel room and I just woke up. I have like a few moments. I get a message. I'll respond right back because I have that time. But most times I'm just unavailable. Okay, I'm unavailable. Girl won't hear from me for a few days, maybe a week, sometimes even a month. Right? If it's not even that serious, I might not even hear from me for a month. Right? But guess what? It works in my favor. It's that part of ghosting the girl that communicates to her like, wow, this guy has goals. he's a busy guy, he's on his path and purpose, and he must be doing a lot more exciting things than having time to message my hot ass, my cute ass. I've got all these beta orbiters all over social media, like hitting me up, but I'm fixated on this guy who doesn't have enough time for me, right? So the less time you have for her, the more time she'll have for you, right? That's the way it works. The less time you have for her, the more time she'll have for you, the more time she will make for you. I mean, that's really how ghosting works. If you want to like ghost somebody and create attraction from it, it can't be done as a technique. Okay, that's the point I want to drive home. You can't do this as a technique. It has to become who you are. You have to genuinely be so busy that you don't have time to respond back. And then by, osmosis, you will be ghosting her. You will be giving her intermittent attention. Maybe the only time you have is when to text back is when you're going to be on the toilet. So that's when you'll text back, right? And you'll just be giving her that intermittent attention. And then there will be times where you'll just be laying in bed before you go to sleep, and you'll have a few moments to text her a bunch of times back and forth, and she'll be like, oh, cool, he's responding, yay. But then the next day she texts you and you're gone again. What happened, this guy? Okay, and that's when you have these push-pulls, these takeaways working in your favor. It's like you're pushing, then you're pulling, right? You're pushing, then you're pulling. You're giving the girl something, then you're taking it back. You're giving her a little bit, then you're taking it back. You're not doing this stuff as a technique, right? Like a newbie would do. Like the newbie would do this stuff as a technique, like purposely try to ghost her, and then a lot of times it'll backfire, because then he'll start missing the girl, and he'll like blow up her phone when she doesn't respond to him. He'll like get paranoid when she doesn't like return his message, like, oh my God, is she mad at me? And then he'll turn into the woman. Why? Because he has no path and purpose. If he had a path and purpose, he would not be worried about what she's doing. He would not be worried if she hasn't messaged him in a few days or a few weeks. He'd just be like, I'm on my path and purpose. I'll message her at some point in the future when I have time. I don't have time right now, right? But when you have no path and purpose, you have no goals, hopes, or dreams of your own, it's very hard to do that. That's why I keep telling you guys, you have to find what you're meant to do here on this planet, so that could be your main focus in life, and your RAS, your reticular activating system, can be focused on that and not the woman. Because when the woman becomes like the main focus in your life, you can't be doing this stuff like ghosting her and doing intermittent attention and push pulls and takeaways. It won't work, because the girl will sense that you're in scarcity. She'll already be able to sense that this guy has no other options in life but me. He has nothing else going on but me. I am basically the center of his entire existence right now, because he has nothing else going on. But when you do have something going on, and you're like, say you're building a business, or you are moving up in your career, you're getting promotions, when you have a path and purpose, it's very, very easy to push the girls aside and do these push pulls and takeaways and ghost them, only respond when you have time. It's very easy to do that. Why? Because they're not priority in your life anymore. When you have nothing going on in your life, these girls become priority, especially if she's like your girlfriend, your woman. She just becomes like the massive priority in your life, and then you end up losing that girl, because she wants a guy who has a path and purpose. She wants a guy who has other things going on in his life other than her. And with that said, I'm going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below.